Straight ahead on 12 News, a place in Brooklyn Park where a good map wouldn't hurt. Then, is it the future of the restaurant industry? We'll show you a system in New Hope that makes ordering and paying extra easy. But first, a problem facing local preschools.
It's just gotten to be a tighter job market with teachers.
12 News starts right now.
All-day kindergarten will soon be the law in Minnesota.
As a result, there's a high demand for teachers. As Delane Cleveland explains, it's one reason some preschools are using unprecedented measures to find employees.
"I'd think twice about that," said the man.
Storytime introduces kids to the world of children's literature.
It took him quite a while.
For Angelica Aceta,
well worth it.
It gives her the chance to teach these 3-year-olds life skills,
Hands in her lap.
such as how to sit still
Crisscross applesauce.
and how to pay attention.
Eric and Drew. Eyes up here.
Angelica's only been on the job for a month after graduating from college this past May,
Here I come.
and she says the chance to work with this age group appealed to her.
They're sponges and they pick up things so fast. It really is inspirational that what being in a classroom setting and repetition, what that can do for them. 1, 2.
School officials already call Angelica one of their better teachers.
1.
However, finding others like her has been challenging.
It's just gotten to be a tighter job market with teachers.
According to Joe Paquette, owner of Primrose Early Childhood Care, the recent boost in state education funding means he now has to compete with local school districts for talent.
I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage. The public sector employees are paid very well. They get much better benefits. They get a pension plan. And those are things that in a private preschool like ours, we can't compete with that.
Paquette says he's short 3 teachers at his Brooklyn Park location,
Little cloud.
which means he's had to limit enrollment while simultaneously boosting recruitment efforts for quality teachers.
It just gets a little more expensive and more time consuming now.
Ultimately, that cost could trickle back down to the parents, who already pay $270 a week for full-day preschool.
We're gonna hug our bodies.
Ideally, Paquette's goal is to find more teachers like Angelica.
Now I'd be okay with doing this for a long time, and I know that after every day I feel stronger and more confident.
Well, Paquette says before he begins the process of hiring licensed teachers, he's waiting for the school districts to finish hiring their pool of early education teachers because he knows he can't compete with them. And Mike and Alex, just as a refresher, the bill signed by the governor this year increases education spending in Minnesota by $485 million over the current levels. And the all-day kindergarten, meanwhile, that'll officially start next year.
Next. All right. Thank you.
Delane.
Yep.
Police would like to know how rat poison got into a Crystal dog park. It was found over the weekend at an area set aside for dogs inside Welcome Park. Police want to know if someone intentionally put it there. A dog had picked up a small brick of poison like this one when the owner found it and pulled it out of the dog's mouth. The animal is fine, but veterinarians say they see poisoning on a regular basis and it could be fatal to pets.
You can actually have hemorrhage. When that happens, you can have bleeding into any body cavity. And so if you seek attention early, there is an antidote for that. Typically, you'll see the side effects of the bleeding disorder about 3 to 5 days after ingestion of the rat bait.
Crystal police canvassed the area Sunday and found no further poison. The dog park is open again for use, but police are asking residents to call them if they saw anything suspicious.
In Maple Grove, police want to find out who vandalized a construction site. Someone spray-painted vulgarities at the site of the former Maple Grove Library. The spray paint has been cleaned up, but police are asking anyone with information to call them. The former library is expected to eventually become a daycare.
A New Hope man is one of 2 people charged with kidnapping a cell phone store manager. William Graham of New Hope and Ronald Jackson of Richfield are accused of following a Verizon store manager to his Loretto home. The criminal complaint says the suspects threatened the victim with a BB gun, tied him up, and forced him into the trunk of their car. The suspects allegedly wanted keys to the victim's store so they could burglarize it. The victim's wife called police and the suspects were arrested within about 20 minutes of the kidnapping. The New Hope suspect does have an extensive criminal record, including a felony theft by swindle conviction.
A Brooklyn Park husband and wife are due back in court later this fall on tax evasion charges. James and Shelley Beeman owned Envy nightclub in downtown Minneapolis. The Hennepin County Attorney's Office says the Beemans failed to pay tens of thousands of dollars in sales taxes. According to prosecutors, the Beamans had claimed their club was targeted because city officials didn't like their clientele. The NB nightclub is now closed. We've all been there. You go out to eat with a group, you want to split the check, but then it becomes a big hassle.
Enter in a local company that has come up with a way to making splitting checks a breeze. In this week's Business Matters, we take a look at this startup company and the traction that it's gaining in the market.
My name is Brenna. I'm going to be your server today.
On a busy night,
Thank you, dear.
Brenna Miller has her hands full with the dinner crowd.
What kind of cheese do you like? We have American, cheddar, pepper jack, Swiss, and blue cheese.
At Outtakes Bar and Grill, taking orders, however, is just a matter of touch.
It's a lot easier than writing everything down and trying to have somebody ring them in for you, you know?
Welcome to Point of Sale, a local startup company started by Jason Dennis and Sean Furman, manager and owner of Outtakes and the New Hope Cinema Grill.
You want to take away a very easy, accurate ordering system, but still have that human interaction at the table.
Point of Sale is the software that allows waitstaff to take orders right on an iPod Touch. Electronically, the order is immediately sent to the kitchen, and it solves the awkward exchange of splitting checks.
As you take orders, it'll actually do the total per person.
Waitstaff can also settle the bill and swipe credit cards right at the table with the handheld device.
It's a matter of touching a couple of buttons. I split it up. I can bring some cash, some card, and it's definitely not a hassle at all for me.
That efficiency scores points with customers, too.
And the speed, you can't argue with that.
You don't have to wait for them to go, run it, bring it back, do anything in between. It's quick and easy.
The system is currently being used by about 8 different restaurants in the Minneapolis area. But owner Jason Dennis would love to see this technology become the standard operating procedure.
And that is the big dream. I mean, once people kind of grasp onto the system and use it, they'll see the ease of use.
To get the point of sale system into a business, it costs about $10,000. Coming up, a story where it's easy to get lost.
And we'll help you navigate through a popular fall destination in Brooklyn Park coming up next. Then later in sports, Armstrong's volleyball team takes home the title at the Heritage Christian Tournament.
But first, it's a look at your AccuWeather forecast. Corn mazes are popular in the fall, and one of them opens Saturday in Brooklyn Park.
Reporter Eric Nelson helps us weave through Bert Bauman's latest creation.
This is our 4th year. We're really excited because now we get the ball rolling.
For Bert Bauman, corn is king.
It's fun for every single age group, from grandparents to little toddlers. They love it, this place.
Bauman's corn maze is proof that if you grow it and carve it, they will come.
And believe it, it's the largest corn maze in Minnesota, and it took quite a bit of work.
In the first 3 years of his maze, combined attendance was 73,000.
Where are you from?
I'm from Minnesota, don't you know?
The chance to be outside on a crackling fall day is a powerful tug.
The crisp air and the clean air, the last hurrah before we have the snow flying. So it is a great opportunity for you to come enjoy. And this coming weekend looks like fantastic.
This year's theme focuses on popular Minnesota landmarks and icons.
The Babe in Blue Ox, the very popular icon from Minnesota. There's the lady slipper, the flower of Minnesota. We have the spoon, the cherry right there. We have the loon right up there. We made Mississippi and the Minnesota. They are the trails that we can walk and visit all those different points.
Now, if you're planning on walking this entire corn maze, it's probably going to take you about 45 minutes. And you should also bring your own map, compass, or GPS because you could get lost.
Who really gets lost is the kids who want to get lost. And then the parents need to go, so we'll find them.
That's because this is the largest corn maze in Minnesota.
We recommend for people not to come with less than 2 hours because there's so much thing to do, and to make it worthwhile, 2 hours is a good amount.
In the cornfields of Brooklyn Park, Eric Nelson, 12 News.
The Harvest Festival in Maze is open every weekend through October 27th, and part of the profits go to children's hospitals and clinics of Minnesota. So if you're going round and round, you keep seeing the loon, or you can make you need to go the other way.
Check the map.
That's right. He's not old enough to drive, but he is old enough to compile impressive music credentials.
But first in sports, Champlin Park and Park Center go head-to-head on the football field. John Jacobson has those highlights and more coming up next.
Pretty busy weekend for volleyball in Maple Grove.
That's right. A 7-team tournament hosted by one of our local schools. Heritage Christian Academy has built a pretty solid volleyball program. The Eagles hosted their annual tournament over the weekend. In one of their pool play matches, the Eagles faced Monticello in the first set. Good work on the pass set and then the kill for the Eagles. Janae Fugelstead notching the kill shot for Heritage. Monticello controls the first game, though, after Heritage sends the ball over. Laura Werdinger setting up Jamie Moss for the big hit and the Magic win 25-17. Second set, the Eagles rally with good defense. And watch this sequence. Maddie Torvey digging another smash by Moss. And when Moss tries again, she's stopped by Emily Hunt. And then Hannah Welter stuffed by Fugelstead. And Heritage takes the lead. After Monticello takes a 5-point lead, the Eagles buckle down, tying it at 18. Emily Torvey with a nice little dump past the Magic defenders. Heritage wins the game 25-23 for a split, but they lose the match on total score. The Eagles finish 4th overall. Also on that tournament, Armstrong facing Providence Academy. Armstrong plays big on defense. Kole Pavela gets the block here, and then the line's next attack stopped by the Falcons' Indigo Thompson, and the Falcons go up 20-10. Providence is serving when setter Thompson disguises it well, dumping the ball deep into the corner and extending Armstrong's lead. Later in the first set, Hannah Schmiedzing on the serve for Armstrong, and she drops an ace past the Lions. Armstrong goes on to win 25-13. Second set, Providence trying to even things up. Armstrong serving, Christina Stanke to Clara Counts, who gets the kill. But Armstrong is too strong. They win the match in 2 on their way to the tournament championship, beating Minnehaha Academy in the final. On the football field, Maple Grove's off to a strong start. They had a little trouble on Friday night. The Crimson on their home field to take on Elk River. Tahi Nomain takes a handoff and cuts behind a good block to score a 4-yard touchdown as Maple Grove strikes first midway through the first quarter. Early second quarter, Clark Winicky takes the swing pass, breaks a tackle, gets a couple of downfield blocks, and he is gone. It's a 58-yard touchdown to make it 13-0 Crimson. Fumbles kill the Elks in this one. This one pops in the air. Jake Engelken is there to grab the loose ball, and nothing but turf in front of him. He goes all the way for an 83-yard touchdown. Maple Grove's up 20-0 at halftime. And the Crimson put the game away in the third quarter. Winicky takes a handoff, follows his blockers, and dashes 64 yards for a touchdown. Maple Grove is 3-0. They pound Elk River 42-6. Park Center and Champlin Park were each 0-2 coming into their Week 3 matchup. The Pirates at home for this game between Brooklyn Park-based high schools, and the Park Center defense keeps Champlin Park bottled up in the third quarter. D'Angelo Wallman and Garrett Carter combining for the stop on the short Rebels run. Leading 9-3, Champlin Park does find pay dirt here. Latrice Mosumo sprinting 19 yards to the end zone for a touchdown, and Champlin Park is up 17-3. The Pirates' best success offensively came through the air. Parker Miller to Joe Davis for a 30-yard gain into the Rebels' territory. It helped set up a Park Center touchdown that made it 17-9. But the Rebels kept attacking on the ground. The offensive line here opens up a big hole for Dan Branger, who goes the distance for a 40-yard touchdown. Champlin Park wins at 37-16. Rebels host Coon Rapids Friday night. In the Tri-Metro Conference, Brooklyn Center played at Breck late first half. Beautiful pass from Chester Whaley to Rashawn Graves, 30 yards down to the Breck 5. BC, though, could not get any points out of the drive. And Breck scores on its ensuing drive. Graydon Kulik to Jorgen Salveson, 26 yards on the touchdown. The Mustangs lead at 14-0 at halftime. Third quarter, and Breck scores through the air again. Kulik going to the right side this time. To Rockmod Chow Bauman for the 20-yard score, and Breck is up 20-0. Centaurs come back and they get some points here. Whaley to Alex Houghton, 21 yards in the touchdown. The Centaurs are on the board, but Breck wins it 32-13. The Mustangs will have their homecoming game this coming Saturday. And that's a look at sports.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Still had a piano player wows in Plymouth.
Wait till you hear his age. We'll be right back.
Imagine getting arrested in the 1950s. This is what Minnesota State Patrol vehicles looked like back then. And here's a 1930 Harley Davidson, one of the first vehicles used by the State Patrol. The vintage vehicles were on display over the weekend at the Brooklyn Center Police Department, which celebrated its 60th anniversary.
It's kind of an interesting contrast to see the somewhat archaic 1954 vintage vehicle compared to the the brand new 2013, 2014 vehicles and all the technology that's been added.
Of course, the State Patrol's first chief was Earl Brown. You may know the name. He was the influential pioneer who settled in Brooklyn Center. He has a love for playing piano, and at the age of 15, his talent is getting serious attention.
We caught up with Spencer Hammerston this weekend as he performed for residents of the Cornerstone Cooperative Living in Plymouth. Spencer has been playing piano since he was 5. It just came naturally.
We put him in a group piano lesson where there was 8 kids, and the first day he mastered what they taught immediately and was going through the book quickly.
So quickly, he was writing simple music before most kids are in 1st grade.
Composing is my absolute favorite pastime. I have composed 4 full pieces for my school band, and I am working on a 5th. My favorite composers are probably Robert Schumann and Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky. By far my favorite era of music is the Romantic era, and they're both from that era.
Now, 10 years since first taking up piano, Spencer plays those pieces from memory. He's also being mentored by a composer with the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra.
They have a composer in residence, and 4 students from Minnesota were selected from around the state to effectively be mentees for her.
The goal is to compose a piece that will be performed by the Twin Cities-based Pavia Winds Ensemble at the end of the year. As for Spencer, music is certainly in his future, but it's not clear how.
I don't think I would like to pursue it as my main career, but definitely I'd like to incorporate it somehow.
For now, he just writes and plays. Spencer has also played the clarinet, the French horn, and dabbled in drums, but he says drums are boring. He's back at the piano and writing.
Go, Spencer,
and he
go.
must have played for a couple hours, no music in front of him, all from memory.
Obviously a gift.
Yeah, really cool. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We'll see you back here tomorrow.